Stop, Mike! Don't do it!
Dude, what the heck?
You can't drink distilled water, man. It's bad for you.
I thought it was better for you since all the impurities were removed. Just good old H2O.
No, that's not necessarily true. Distilled water can be bad for you in the long term. Dr. Bring told me all about it.
Hi kids, I'm Dr. Bring, and I'm not a real doctor, but I play one on TV. And Mike, Cal was right. Drinking distilled water is not good for you, but it can be good for other things, like experiments. If you do drink distilled water, it can cause a loss of nutrients, like calcium. It tastes bad, and you can get polyuria, which is a fancy name for you'll pee a lot.
Almost all the water on Earth isn't only water. There are lots of other things in it too. Dissolved minerals like calcium and magnesium, among other things. Distilled water is created by the process called distillation, which removes everything except the water itself. The process of distillation is performed by boiling water and collecting the water vapor. When water is boiled, it leaves everything else behind and only the water evaporates. So, by cooling down the water vapor, you can collect pure water.
So why is distilled water so good at absorbing ions? It has to do with polarity. No, not that type of polarity. I'm talking about positive and negative charges. Because of something called electronegativity, water has hydrogen and oxygen bonds that are considered polar, the partial negative charge on oxygen and the partial positive charge on the hydrogen. Polarity deals with the distribution of negatively charged molecules called electrons. So you think of electrons as cookies and oxygen as the big brother and hydrogen as the little brother. Well, the older brother will take more cookies than the little brother, gets a bellyache and becomes more negative. While the younger brother who had less cookies is pretty happy, partially positive you might say. Since these molecules have partially positive charges and partially negative charges, it is extremely good at dissolving molecules because it can interact with either both positive and negative molecules. This polarity allows for them to form strong electrostatic interactions, kind of like a magnet. So if water is so good at interacting with other molecules, why doesn't it always react with molecules in a solution? It has to do with something called the Chatelier's principle. If there are more reactants in a solution, the more a chemical reaction shifts towards the products. If there are more products in a solution, the more the chemical reaction is going to shift towards the reactants. Think of two small rooms, one kind of crowded, about 6 people, and one empty, only 2 people. You're more likely going to see a net shift of people from the crowded room to the empty room. So in this case, more people will go from the reactants to the products, while in this scenario, you'll see more people go from the products to the reactants.
When water is distilled, calcium is one of the elements that's taken out. This is a huge problem. Do you know why? Calcium is important for your body. Your bones, your teeth, your heart, and even your nerves need calcium to work how they're supposed to. Let's find out why. Now, you all probably know that your bones make up your skeleton, and your skeleton is what gives your body structure. So what makes your bones so strong and rigid? Well, calcium, of course. Most of the calcium in your body is stored in your bones. If your body is running low on that calcium that it needs to make your heart, muscles, and nerves function, it takes it away from your bones. So if you're not drinking and eating enough calcium, your bones will get weak and brittle. Speaking of your heart, muscles, and nerves, let's talk about how we need calcium to keep those healthy too. Your nerves are like the computer system of your body. They transmit all kinds of messages all the time. Without calcium, our nerves wouldn't be able to work. It's like your computer system freezing up. Your brain wouldn't be able to send signals telling your feet to move and your lungs to breathe or anything else. On top of this all, we need calcium to make our muscles work. Remember, muscle contraction happens for every movement you do. Even your heart is a muscle. It needs calcium to pump blood through your body. Without calcium, your heart would stop. I hope this cleared up why calcium is so important. We need calcium so that our bones, nerves, and muscles can keep working how we want them to.